Big Ed here. Today I have the Sig Sauer P226 Navy Edition, MK25, and a Glock 19 Generation 4 right here. I just finished up my review on this handgun right here, and I did a quick comparison while I was shooting the Sig with the Glock 19. Both of these guns come in standard capacity of 15 rounds, and after I bought this one, and this is one of my all-time favorites now. This is just a great shooting gun, the Glock. I love it. It works great. It digests everything, and I can shoot it really well. And it's light, easy to carry. It's just about the perfect size handgun, I think. It feels like a full-size gun. It shoots like a full-size one, but yet it carries like something smaller. Just an awesome firearm. But I bought the Sig because I wanted something with a longer barrel, something really high quality, full length frame rails that was very accurate, that I could shoot at longer ranges and, more of a range gun, and a full size gun. So let's take a look at these more carefully. And just first, we have steel slides on both the pistols, obviously steel barrels on these. The big difference with these firearms is the frames. This is a little piece of aluminum right here on the P226, and the lower on this is polymer on the Glock. The next big difference is this is a striker fire pistol and this is a hammer fire pistol right here. And a striker basically means it just has a firing pin in there like a bolt action gun, and you're basically just pulling the striker back, and then it just releases, at a certain point once it's far enough back, and it hits the firing pin, the firing pin hits the primer and sets the round off. And this is just a regular hammer that hits a firing pin, and that's it. And this gun is also unique, the Sig, because it has this fancy decocker right here, which is really cool. So you can see it's cocked, the trigger came back, and then you can safely decock it, and then it goes back into double action mode. The next thing I wanted to do is let's compare these magazines. And the Glock does have a loaded magazine there. The chamber is empty though. This is interesting too, and both of these will be the same size magazines as the 15 rounders, and we are in New York, so these are 10 round magazines right here. You can see it says 10 here on the Sig, made in the USA, and then the Glock is the 10 round magazine right here. This I thought was pretty interesting when I was looking at them yesterday. So we'll match the feed lips up right there. Look at how much longer the Sig mag is than the Glock, and both of those will hold 15 rounds. And they're about the same thickness. The Sig mag is just a tiny bit thinner right there, but it probably isn't, because this Glock mag is a steel mag with a coating of plastic around that. So I bet they're at least the same internal dimensions right there. So maybe this goes out to somebody that's pretty creative. Maybe you could work that follower in this Sig mag right here, cut it down. I might even look into doing that, removing a base plate, cutting the follower down. And why isn't that 17 round mag? And obviously I can't do it in New York, but maybe up when I'm in Vermont in the winter. But that's pretty interesting right there, because the size of the 226 is closer to a Glock 17, and the Glock 17 holds 17 plus 1, and this holds 15 plus 1. It's not a big difference, but it did interest me looking at both of these magazines right here. That it's substantially bigger. So let's go ahead and field strip them, move the magazines out. So we have them field stripped right here, and we'll just take a look at the internals right here. And that's a hammer fired gun, and this is they're really both vintage designs from the 1980s. I mean, a Glock 19 is the same thing as a 17. It's just shrunk down a little bit, but here's the big difference right here are these full length slide rails right there that run the full length of the gun, and this is obviously a piece of aluminum right here, so there's a little more weight to this, but it's still very light. But that's really cool about this Sig. And you can see how the Glock 19 right here just has the little bitty tabs right there, and this works fine. And don't get me wrong, this is an excellent pistol. And the two things that the Sig does not have on the Glock is where the Glock beats the Sig flat outright is price point and weight. It's a lighter gun, and I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but if you pick them both up, I mean, this is at least probably 5 ounces, and this is like, man, it's weighs. I mean, it's, I don't know the exact numbers, but I believe this is gun's right around the low 30s in ounces when it's completely assembled, and this is around 22 ounces. So there's it's about a 10-ounce difference. But, you know, you can feel it. It doesn't weigh, SIG doesn't weigh as much as a 1911, but it's substantial. But you can see the construction right here, and basically you have this, you know, these frame pieces, they're inserted in this polymer frame, whether the SIG is all one piece. And, but you will gain accuracy with that, and also longevity. There's no way that you know, and don't get me wrong, you know, I love these polymer guns, and I love the lightness of it. And, but you know, this is a better made firearm, but it does cost, you will pay for that. You know, this is close to $1,000, and you know, it is not cheap. You know, maybe, you know, in the mid 9s, but by the time you pay sales tax, it's expensive. But they're both excellent, and you know, they disassemble very quick and easy. But so that's it right there, and that would be that's basically my comparison. And this came with night sights, but you know, it's a $600 gun compared to close to $1,000 gun. But they are both very cool, and you can get extended magazines for both of these. You know, these the Glock mags are famous for the 33 rounders. You know, and also I believe for the SIGs you can get 20 rounders. You know, those big fat long mags. And you can get aftermarket parts. You know, you can change the back straps on the Glock, you can change the hand grips on the SIG, but you know, but they're different firearms, and the double action on here is interesting. I like it a lot. Both these guns I feel safe carrying with a round in the chamber. I would never carry this one with a round in a chamber on single action, but double action makes it very safe, and you know, I think that's a good option. But some people complain about going to double action to single action. I like it. I think it's cool, and you know, and I'm definitely a gadget guy, and you know, I like mechanical things. So the decocker on here is definitely a lot of fun, you know, and cock that hammer back and just work that decocker is definitely cool. So I enjoy that. But you know, the Glock 19 for the money, and also the resale values on both of these guns are fantastic. I bought a M&P 40 a little over a year ago, and I've done a review on that. But the M&P 40, the resale value on that is starting to sink. And it's unfortunate. And also I mean, it is cheaper to start with. I found those are at $525 now new for the full size model. And the Glocks are still commanding $600, and the resale value in the Glocks is much stronger than on the M&Ps. So, you know, I mean, I definitely have a Glock 23 in my radar in the future, also a Glock 20, but excellent firearms. And the other cool thing is the caliber conversion kits that you can do with the P226. You can put a 22 on here, and 357 SIG and a 40, and it all run off of this frame right here. And I believe a Glock 19, I believe there's just some sort of a 22 conversion. Maybe not actually for this gun. I can't remember. I've just brain farted on that. But you know, this is just both fantastic firearms, but different, you know, and you know, but hopefully you enjoyed the video, and check out my full review on both of these firearms, and give me a thumbs up, and you know, feel free to like, you know, subscribe. Thank you.